Temperature. What is temperature, children? Temperature is a degree of hotness or coldness that can be measured using a thermometer. It's also a measure of how fast the atoms and the molecules of a substance are moving. Temperature is measured in degrees on Fahrenheit, Celsius, and Kelvin scales. Temperature is a measure of how much heat energy an object has. When I say that the mug of tea is hot relative to my hand, I am saying the mug of tea has a higher temperature than my hand. The molecules in the mug of tea are moving faster than the molecules in my hand, and that heat energy will flow in the direction from the tea to my hand, not vice versa. Walking on hot coals is a good example to understand the difference between temperature and heat. Hot coals are at a high temperature, but if you touch them very briefly, only a small amount of heat energy is transferred to your feet. Your feet are not burned. Once experts step onto coals, they walk briskly and don't stop. Their feet would sink into the ash pit if they run or hard step. The lighter the stride, the less chance scorching cinders will wedge between your toes. Each step should last half a second or less. Coals may be hot, but they're not good at transferring heat. They have a low thermal capacity. That is, it takes them relatively long time to bake a wok. It's like sticking your hand in an oven set to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. The air feels hot, but it won't burn you instantly. As long as they keep moving, each step will absorb very little heat from the embers. Now, why does your feet not burn when you walk on hot coals? The same is true when you sip hot coffee instead of gulping it down. Which action is more likely to burn you? What is the wind chill index? The wind chill index is the temperature your body feels when the air temperature is combined with the wind speed. The higher the wind speed, the faster the exposed areas of your body lose heat and the cooler you feel. If two things are touching each other, heat will flow from the hotter one to the colder one, unless they are at the same temperature. The molecules of the hotter one will slow down and the molecules of the colder one will speed up until they are all moving at the same speed and the two things have the same temperature. For instance, if you put an ice cube in your mouth will get colder and the ice cube will melt. Heat index. What is the heat index? The heat index is a combination of air temperature and humidity that gives a description of how the air temperature is felt. This is not the actual air temperature. Heat stroke is the most severe form of heat injury and is a life-threatening emergency. It is the result of long extreme exposure to the sun in which a person does not sweat enough to lower body temperature. If someone has a heat stroke, apply cold compresses, use a fan to lower the temperature, elevate his feet and give him a lot of fluids. When molecules of any kind of atom get more energy in them than they had before, they move faster and we call that heat. When the molecules move faster, they hit against each other and bounce apart, and so they end up further apart from each other than they were before. The energy can come from the sun, or from volcanoes, or from friction or nuclear fusion, or many other sources. The capacity of a physical system to perform work is called energy. There are different types of energy: heat energy, mechanical energy, light energy, sound energy, electric energy. Heat energy is produced when there is a transfer of heat from a hot body to a cold body. This is an important form of energy as it is essential for day-to-day activities like cooking, ironing, and heating of water. Any object that can be used to derive heat is considered as a source of heat energy.